Good evening, good evening. Y'all, these 8:30 lives, they becoming a normal thing. I be trying to be in the bed. This is my time to wind down. I don't like to be on live this late, but I find myself right here with y'all. We got to get into this tonight because when I tell y'all, this was a paradigm shift for me. Like this thing blew my whole mind. This thing blew my whole mind. Okay? And you know what? I'm trying to think, do I need to get my phone about hello Alta? This thing blew my whole mind. Like I'm still recovering from seeing that post, processing that post. Like I saw it, I read it again, then I read it again. And then it took days for me to process. Then I screenshot it. I sent it to 10 men that I know and love and respect. And y'all, when I tell you they came back and they were like, yeah, for the most part, yeah. I was like, I'm sorry, what? What? What are you saying? Wait a minute, you mean to tell me that a man's ability to commit don't necessarily have anything to do with the woman that he with? What? They were like, yeah. Like, it's not even really y'all. It's about us. It's about us being ready. It's about us, waking up, getting ready. Hello. Oh, man. I was like, okay, So what have I been doing all this time? What have I been doing? What's really going on? Because here it is, and I can admit this, you all. I have an ego, right? I think all women do, all people do, men and women. We all have our ego, right? And we like to believe in our egocentric mind that the world revolves around us, that we have more control over things than we do. All of that is your ego. All of that is your ego, right? You thinking you special. You thinking you unique, right? You different. And Miss Anita, my situation is different. And this and that. We're going to talk about this post, y'all, because it's taken me days to get my mind wrapped around this idea. And here's what's so interesting. I've seen it put different ways, but it's something about the way this post was put that it just bam. Like it just made all the sense in the world to me. And y'all, it had me rethinking, like, do I need to add a chapter in my book? Like now, I feel like I need to go back into my book and I need to I'm actually considering republishing my book. Like putting a chapter in my book on this very thing. Like that's what it got me in my feelings, y'all. I might have to update my book because this thing has blown me clear out of the water. Okay? Like, I don't even know how to think. Like, I don't know how to feel right now. All right. So, I'm going to see if I can find it. Hold on a second. Because I'm going to look it up. I'm going to look it up on my computer. And I'm going to see if I can find it. Because I kid y'all not. I'm still not right. Like, I sent this out to 10 men that I know and love. Some of them single, some of them married. And I was like, what are your thoughts on this? Tell me what you think about this. And they were like, well, yeah. I was like, huh? Y'all, I don't know why. Okay, no, that's not right. It had to send a code to my phone, which is crazy. for me to get into my iCloud, but I apologize. I done messed up the live trying to look at this post. I kid y'all not. Okay. But let me read this post, y'all, because I'm all messed up. And then, how about this? So I post this today. Then I saw a post by Tony Gaskins. This is what his post said. And he was talking about it. It said, most men don't marry the woman they love the most. They marry the woman that is around when they are ready to marry. And so his pushback on that was, if a man truly loves you, if a man is in love with you, like, he's not going to let you go, right? So, Lord. But I kid y'all not. My mind is still going in a million directions over this post. It's still, I can't quite wrap my head around it. Okay, I'm just waving to everybody coming in. All right, let me read it to y'all. And if you're a man and you're on this live, please tell me your thoughts, okay? This is what it says. Men commit when they are ready for it, not when they meet the right person. And I want to exchange that word person with woman. So men commit when they are ready for it, not when they meet the right woman. Like, really let that sink in, right? Like, you could be fine as wine. You could have the perfect body. You could have beautiful hair, beautiful eyes, smell good. You could be the kindest, sweetest, gentlest, most feminine, loving woman, the best cook, the most nurturing, the most supportive. And at the end of the day, if that man is not ready to commit, he will not commit to you. CD Brown 4_75 says, I'd agree with that because he wasn't ready when he had the right one. Y'all, I'm still feeling a way about this. Like, my female ego has just been blown up. The thought of, okay, so I don't even really matter. Like, I don't even really figure into this equation, especially if I'm great. Right? Now, that's not to say a woman shouldn't show up and be great, because I like to believe that's what I do every time. Oh, Lord. DeVale 58 says that is so true. Wow. I've been ready since I was 20. Now I'm 30, but I have to admit that my choices have not been the best. Okay. Wald, New York City, GC. Okay. I'm not sure. Sorry if I destroyed that. That's so interesting. And so I had another friend, a male friend, who said, yeah, some men wake up at 20 and they're ready. Some men wake up at 82 and they're ready. And anywhere in between, 20 and 82. And I mean, that is just blowing my mind. Like, I'm sure I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight. When I tell y'all, like, I'm not even being funny. That is blowing my entire mind thinking about that. So the first thing I did when I read it, I kid y'all not, I went back till I was 18. That was the first love in high school. The first man I ever loved. I said, well, darn. I met this man senior year. I want to say it was like September, October of senior year. And clearly, you know, he was ready to commit to me, because he was like, well, you know, we gonna date and you gonna be my girlfriend and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I'm not sleeping with you. I remember like it was yesterday because I was a virgin. I was like, well, I'm not sleeping with you. Like, we can go out. We can be cool. We can, you know, but I'm not sleeping with you. And that went from September, October. Y'all, my daughter keep texting me. I don't know why. And again, my phone is on Do Not Disturb and my phone just keep going off. But anyway, I digress. So September, October, I meet him. We date all the way till June. I don't lose my virginity until prom night. And this man was like, you mine, you my girl, you my woman, you da 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 da. All right. And here I'm thinking it's because I'm special. Maybe it's because I'm a virgin. Maybe it's because, I'm me. I'm amazing, right? And now I come to find out, I'm going to turn my fan on because it's hot up here. It don't have nothing to do with me. Like, that man just made a decision that he was going to commit. And it really didn't have nothing to do with me. So that's the first love. I went and I thought about every man I had ever dated long term. I went right down the list. I was like, so you mean to tell me at that point, at that stage in my life, till I was 30, till I got married, that I clearly was choosing. Woo, this really blew my mind. So I was choosing men who, what Chingy from Black Swan Nation, I watched her live today, and I want you to head over to YouTube, and I want you to watch Chingy's live today. That was a really good live. But Chingy said something in that live, and I was like, ooh, let me write this down because I'm going to say it tonight in my live. She said that in the live over on YouTube. She said, we need to make sure that we are choosing relationship-ready men. Relationship-ready men. Oh, Waldy, thank you. He said, I don't know anything better than being in a family. Good for you, young man. Good for you. We need to choose relationship-ready men. So this is what it had me to thinking. This is what got me to thinking, y'all. For some reason, your girl is going backwards. I don't understand it. I'm still trying to make sense of it. But for some reason, your girl is going backwards. Because prior to marriage, well, there was a couple little hiccups in there in college, right? There was a couple little hiccups, but prior to marriage, I clearly was choosing relationship-ready men. Like, that's primarily what I was doing. I would, meet a man, and, I had my standards, I had my requirements, and y'all, it wasn't no casual sex. It wasn't no free sex. It wasn't no free wife. It was, hey, I ain't doing this and this and this unless we in a relationship, unless we married, la-di-da. And guess what? Those men said, okay, okay, I can do that, right? I want to be together. I want to be with you. I lived with a man, and I swore I'd never do that again, but I lived with a man in my early 20s. I lived with a man, and clearly your girl was choosing relationship-ready men. Other than a few little hiccups, most of the men was like, sure, yeah, I want us to be together. You my woman. And I've told this story where, yeah, it didn't take no months. It took 2 or 3 dates. 2 or 3 dates, and the man was like, so we go together? Y'all know that's the generation I come from, the we go together, right? So your girl is going backwards. Same with the man that I married. It was like, okay, we've been dating for about a month, and, I want to be with you. And I want to get married, and I want to have a family, and I want a woman who's going to stay at home with that family, and I want this, and I was like, okay, well, okay. How about this? Prior to getting married, I had been engaged twice. And remember, I don't know if y'all remember this. I said it on the live where I said at any stage of the dating, exclusive dating, talking, committed, engaged, married. Remember I said any of those stages, a man can get cut. And so I had been engaged twice before I got married, and those men got cut. They did something that was like, I can't do this. I'm not doing this. I'm not, And they got cut. But clearly, your girl is going backwards. Like, this thing had my life flashing before my eyes. I kid y'all not. Men control relationships, not women. Man. I mean, I am aware of that. That's the truth. Until a man consciously realizes his purpose, the meaning of life, and understand the difference between love and lust, etc., then he'll commit. Wow. Y'all are blowing my mind. Like, I thank you all. I thank the men that are in this conversation right now. Please help me and the women on this live to gain clarity. Let me read the post again for those who just joined. Men will commit when they are ready for it. not when they meet the right woman. Just let that sink in. Let that sink in. So from 18 to 30, 31, when I got married, I dated relationship ready men. Clearly. Because here I'm thinking it's because I'm fabulous. Here I'm thinking it's because I'm me. Here I'm thinking it's because I'm beautiful, I'm sexy, I'm fun, I'm smart, I'm feminine. I'm thinking it's me. And now I'm realizing I was really good at choosing relationship ready men. And then the story takes a turn, okay? The story takes a turn, okay? Because after my divorce and sitting down for 5 years and figuring out what just happened, what's going on, okay? I dated a gentleman after that, relationship ready man. So I'm thinking, okay, the streak continues. All right, Anita, the streak continues. I'm dating a relationship ready man. The man wanted to marry me. He didn't give me a ring, but he was like, I want to get married. Now I want to marry you. Okay? At that point in time, I did not want to get married again. I was like, no, I got to pump the brakes on this. I'm not ready. And then at a later point in time, I figured out I didn't want to marry him. And, you know, I wouldn't have said that, but that's what it really boiled down to. Then it take a turn for the worse. The next man I choose has commitment issues. The next man I choose has commitment issues. I'm like, wait a minute, am I losing it? I'm losing my touch. What's going on here? Because this is something I'm not sure what's going on. I don't know what's going on, y'all. I kid y'all not. But now I'm losing my streak. Because prior to this, I'm thinking, okay, it's me. It's me, y'all. What's going on? I'm not trying to be funny, but it's me. I'm not trying to be funny, but it's me. And so we even have men on here tonight that they're saying something similar. That yes, a man has to have his life in order, his money in order, his purpose, his reason for being. I got to get some water, y'all, because my throat is dry. I'm going to be right back. Thank you for letting me get my water. Because my throat is dry. I've been talking a lot today. But now, come to find out. So ladies, okay, you ready? This is the chapter that I'm thinking about adding to my first book. And it is called Determining If the Man is Relationship Ready. Determining a man's level of commitment. If he is ready to commit. And honestly, if I can be honest, I almost feel like that's something you have to figure that out before you figure out chemistry. You have to figure that out before connection, compatibility. Because here's the thing. I have the 7 C's. I talk about them all the time. And commitment is one of the C's. Commitment is one of the C's. But now I have to raise that commitment up. So Christ is number one. Christ is number one if you're a believer. These are the 7 C's you need to have in a healthy relationship. And Christ is number one. I got to make commitment number 2. Because why am I going to assess for all of these other things if you are not ready to commit? Like, I don't like using the term waste my time because I want to believe that if I'm dealing with people and I'm alive on the earth, I mean, there is no such thing as wasting time. I'm going to be alive anyway. So I'm really not wasting my time because I'm alive. I'm living And, I'm living this life, and whoever I'm with is whoever I'm with. So I don't really consider any of that wasted time. I know people say that. I used to say it, and I stopped saying that because something about it invalidated my life. Like, I'm living life. And if I happen to date a man for 8, 9, 10 months, a year, and it doesn't work out, I didn't waste my time. I lived, I worked, I did all the things I love doing in that year. I just so happened to be dating him. So I didn't like that. I didn't like saying that. And I really discourage people from saying that. Oh, this person wasted my time. No, they didn't. But yo, ladies, listen up. Listen up. You must find out, especially if you're a believer, what this man's relationship with Christ is. And right behind that, what is his level of commitment? Does he have the ability to commit? Because honestly, you don't need to go any further. So if you're a believer like me and he don't have no good relationship with Christ, Christ is not the Lord of his life, he not trying to follow in Christ's footsteps, he not trying to be like Christ, okay, let's say the Christ thing add up, and that's okay, great. All right, okay, man of God, all right, beautiful, wonderful, trying to live like Christ. Then you got to go to the next thing, which is commitment. Can he commit? Is he ready to commit now? Has he ever committed before? Like, you have got to figure that out before you go any further. Because now, let me tell y'all, where we're at now, it's not even just men I'm talking about. Like, people struggle to commit now. I went to a clinician's coffee this morning, and we talked about, all these different groups that therapists are a part of and this and that. And all of the people at the group was talking about, it's so hard to get people to commit. Like, they won't keep coming. They'll come once or twice and they'll stop coming. It's hard for people to commit. It's hard for them to make a commitment to something. So I'm not even just picking on the men. I think it's people. Like, we've lost our ability to choose something, and to see it through. Oh my gosh. Yeah, but ladies, if he's breaking God's heart, yours is next. I know that's right. Okay, let's see. Somebody, excuse me, y'all, I got the hiccups. I thought somebody asked to join the live. We have to be able to see people where they're at and accepting it. There's always a reason. Y'all, my head is still just spinning. It's just spinning. I don't know why. Like I said, it's the paradigm shift. What I thought I knew for 55 years, I did not know. And it's like, wow. So yeah, this changes everything. You have got to determine a man's level of commitment straight away. And ladies, why is this so important? Because the way we're wired evolutionarily, we are wired to do things, to commit. We're wired to be with one person. We're wired to have something long term. We're wired to have something real, right? And we bond to men, especially men that we're sleeping with, men that we're kissing, men that we're being sexual with. We bond to them. And so honestly, if you're out here in these streets and you're checking for a man and he's sexy, he's this, he's that, he worked here, he worked there. Hello, Cord J. Martin. Okay. Hello. Yeah, you're just checking for him in all these other areas and you skip over, can he commit? Is he ready to commit? Is he ready to commit now? Will he be, like, if you skip over that, you're breaking your own heart. You're bonding and attaching to a man that cannot commit to you. We are in a consumer conquest culture, not a covering, contribution, and commitment culture. Yeah. The consumer culture. I had interviewed an author on my podcast, and she wrote a book called Why Why won't men commit? And she said something similar. She said that most men are consumers and they will enjoy. Ladies, listen up. And I want you to go to that podcast episode. I need to find that podcast episode. Let me see if I can find it. I'm going to give you the number of the podcast episode. But I kid you not, you got to listen to that podcast episode. Okay, I'm going to see if I can find her episode, but she and I had a conversation about this. And I remember even reading her book. I was like, man, really? Men are consuming us. So she said, you have to know the difference between a consumer and a buyer. So it's like the difference between renting and buying. And again, I've always understood that. But wow, there's something about this post that has just changed the game for me. It has completely changed the game. Like, I'm just still trying to wrap my head around what I posted. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. Let me tell you the podcast episode. Her book is excellent. Like, here it is. What you need to know to determine if a man will commit. Okay. Coach Paula Grooms. And it is which episode number is it? Episode number 163 of the podcast. I need y'all to watch that episode. I need you to get a copy of her book. Ladies, seriously, like, this thing is serious. Okay, I got a question. Why do you feel like men cheat? Do you feel like it's because of the woman he is with? Absolutely not. So, Laura Charles, I want you to listen carefully. So the topic that we're discussing tonight, we're going to keep that same energy. So we just found out that men commit when they are ready for it, not when they meet the right woman. So the woman, who she is, what she is, how she shows up, how she loves him, how she fill in the blank. That has nothing to do with a man's ability to commit, with a man's readiness to commit. The same is true of a man cheating. It has nothing to do with the woman. And y'all are going to say, well, what if she's not sleeping with him? Or what if she's this? Or what if she's masculine? Or what if she's disrespectful? Or what if? Cheating always has to do with the person's character. Because guess what? There are people in the world that regardless of how another person treats them, regardless of the sex they're getting or not, or regardless of whatever is happening, they don't cheat. So how do you explain that? If cheating is directly correlated to what a person is doing or not doing, how do you explain all the people in the world who are going through it and they're not cheating? Cheating will always and forever be a character flaw. It is something within that person, just like we're learning about these men. It's not about their partner. It's about something inside of them that says, cheating is an option. Like being unfaithful to my partner is an option. It could happen. That's really what's going on. And I've always understood that. But now I'm applying that to this statement right here. That ladies, this is what I'm going to encourage y'all to do. And clearly, this is something I did for years, and I wasn't even aware that I was doing it. So for years, from 18 until maybe 38, 39, 40, probably 40. So from 18 to 40, guess what I was doing? I was showing up. I was being who I was. I was loving my life. I was enjoying, I was enjoying my life, my friends, my family. I was having fun. I was going on adventures. I was traveling. I just was, right? I was in my feminine. I just, as they say, I wasn't a doing, I was a being. I was a being. And from 18 to 40, I was attracting relationship-ready men. And some of those men, we dated long-term, boyfriend and girlfriend. Some of those men proposed. I married one of those men. And I am going to encourage you to do the same. That we have got to give up this idea of, I have to be something. I have to be something particular or do something particular to get a man to commit. Like, we're going to have to give that up. We need to show up. We need to be our best. We need to live our best life. The end. Like, the end. That's what I've decided to do. And we need to assess if a man is able to commit to us. That's it. And I want you to do that straight out the gate. That's your number one objective, is to find out where this man is in terms of his ability to commit. Okay, the Queen of Cascade says, I came in late, but I love the consumer analogy. I'm in ATL. Mixed with fear, better options. It's interesting. Oh my God, I can't even imagine. Cannot even imagine. You can't get premium from a man when acting regular as a woman. Exactly. So if a man cheats because of who he is, he also commits because of who he is. Precisely. Precisely. I don't know why I did not bring those two things together. But now it's like so clear. Do you think that some men who are ready to commit will still search for the right one? Or do you think that all men who are ready will just take any old woman because he's ready? Well, like I mentioned earlier, Tony Gaskins had a post today. It said most men don't marry the woman they love the most. They marry the woman that is around when they are ready to marry. That is sobering. That is really, really sobering. And I need you to breathe it in. Don't make it about you. I need you to just be. As a woman, just be. And be your best self, right? I'm not sitting here giving you license to just, come into the relationship doing any old thing, right? I want you to be your absolute best self. And remember, your absolute best self is not for him, it's for you. So I work out 5 days a week. I run, I lift. I don't leave the house unless, I pretty much look like this, I have my jewelry. I have my makeup. I'm coming from the office, now. And, my hygiene is on point. I make sure I take care of my hair. I take care, I do this for me. I do this for me. And that's what I'm going to encourage women to keep doing. But ladies, I want you to hear me and hear me well. Do not do backflips. Do not do double somersaults. Do not do anything above and beyond what is the normal. I love me and I'm showing up as my best self. Please don't do that. And definitely don't do it under this guise that you're going to get a man to commit. Please don't. The only thing you need to do moving forward is assess his ability to commit. That's it. And honestly, if I can be so frank, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to assess the man's ability to commit. And if I determine within days or weeks or however many dates that this man cannot commit or this man is not interested in committing to me, I'm going to send him on down the road. I will not engage men anymore who are not ready and willing to commit. That is the pledge that I'm making here on this live, and I want you to do the same thing. How will we know if he's ready to commit early on before we get too involved? Here's what I'm going to say about that. I think there are signs and signals. I think sometimes a man will straight up tell you. So if he says, I just want to see where this goes, that's the answer. If he says, I don't know, I think marriage is overrated. I think marriage is just a piece of paper. I think this, I think that. Okay, well, there you go. Well, I think it's too much pressure being put on people nowadays to do X, Y, and Z. Well, there you go. And, oh, I think, we should live together. I think we should have kids together. I think we should buy a house together because, I mean, I don't want the government all up in my business. Well, there you go. And you're going to look for consistency. You're going to look for him actually doing what he says he's going to do. Like, all of these things are signs of a person who can commit. You're going to look for emotional availability. Because I'm going to be real, men who are not emotionally available cannot commit. Like, they can't even be real with themselves, much less real with you. They don't even know themselves, much less they want to get to know you. Men who are not interested in truly getting to know you are probably not interested in committing. Men who don't ask questions on dates. Men who don't make sure you got home safely that night. Men who don't, follow up in a reasonable amount of time with a telephone call or a text. Yeah, these men probably are non-committal. So the signs are glaring, and it's happened to me. It's happened to me. And like I said, I have to take full ownership. You are seeing a woman take full ownership for the last, 10 years. And the last 2 or 3 men that I've dated semi-seriously, I'm like, what in the world? Because I was a champ at this. Like, I assessed a man's level of committing. And I had a pretty good track record. Until the last 10 years. And now all of a sudden, I'm like, okay, what has changed? Is something going on with me? I'm missing something. Yeah, I've got to make that my priority. To me, might be a little different. I'm ready to commit, but if the woman's confused, looking sexy with practically showing indecency, that's a big turnoff. It is a most to love and submit to God. Of course. Yeah, you need to be so deep in God that he needs to be in God to find you. Thank you. I agree. And lastly, when the woman pulls out her big list of what she expects from the man, but she brings not much value to the table, it's a big turnoff. Does this walk into men talking about the one that got away? It could, but here's what Tony was saying, and this is what I thought was so interesting, because Tony Gaskins was saying that a man who truly loves a woman, who's in love with a woman, she's not going to get away. That he's going to do everything within his power to be with that woman or to have that woman. And I had another follower of my platform. She talked about how she believes men can be, what is the word I'm looking for? That men can not coerce, but that men, we can suggest or we can require that men commit. That when a man believes that he's going to lose the woman he loves, like if she says, hey, if we're not going anywhere, if we're not getting married, if we're not, headed anywhere, I need to get on out of here. I need to go about my business. And that can ignite a man's willingness and ability to commit. And to that I responded, I still think, once again, we're making it about the woman. That she's doing something that's bringing about this willingness to commit. And I disagree, because now I think I finally understood it's not about the woman. It is all about the man. And ladies, we just have to choose men that are willing and ready to commit. Okay? I got somebody just now that said 100 on that post. So if a guy's last relationship was 3 months ago, is that a red flag? 1, it depends on how long he was in the relationship. If he was in the relationship for a year or longer, I wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole. You are a rebound. So that's just me. If he was in that relationship for 1 year or longer, you are probably a rebound relationship. So just be mindful. If he dated someone for 3 months or 6 months or 9 months, okay, it might not have been that serious. It might not have been that deep. And he's just continuing to date. And now he's dating you. But if it was a year or more, he's probably rebounding. If you haven't done your counseling work and spiritual work, you probably won't be your best self. CD from Atlanta. I agree. So would you agree that Tony Gaskins is saying that men don't really have standards? Men do not have the standards that women have. And that is an evolutionary psychology. There's a reason behind that. So evolutionarily, they're not suffering the consequences of childbearing. So they can afford to just, plant their seed anywhere. They can afford to put their thing in anything because they're not going to suffer the consequences, the repercussions of becoming pregnant. So no, men's standards have never been as good as a woman's standards. Now, what has made me incredibly sad is that now women's standards are tanking. And I'm trying to understand that because we're the gatekeepers, to sex. And if that whole thing goes wrong, if that man puts his thing inside of us and he has AIDS, or if he has syphilis or gonorrhea or chlamydia, there's a good chance that we're going to get it. If that man, has an orgasm inside of us and we're not on birth control and we get pregnant, we're going to suffer the consequences of that. So what is blowing my mind today is that women are poor gatekeepers. They're horrible gatekeepers. They're letting any and every man in. And it's almost like they don't care about the consequences. Y'all do know AIDS is still a thing. You do know that, right? Like last I checked, I don't want to get it. Last I checked, I don't want HIV. So y'all are out here sleeping around like AIDS has been cured. It hasn't. It has not. I don't want to get it. I need you to use a condom. I need you to get tested. So I'm working on self to be the best I can be for that special one, Dr. Anita. Thank you, K Jackson 863. Stay out of the bed in the enchantment stage of the relationship. Yeah, I say stay out of the bed for the first 3, 6, 9 months. And if you can last until engagement or marriage, great. But if you don't think you can, I'm talking 6 to 9 months. Wait until you're exclusive and committed. That should be the bare minimum. Hey, I need to be exclusive and committed. I need to feel comfortable. I need to feel like we know each other. I need to feel like there's feelings here. I need to feel like there's love involved. Like I've even said that. If you all just wait until the man loves you, like wait until the man expresses feelings of love. And I'm not talking about 2 or 3 weeks in to get in your drawers. I'm talking about for real, for real. Like, he mean it. Yeah. How about you just wait? Of course, men have standards. That's how they decide to walk away or stay. A lot of men stay. A lot of men stay. A lot of men stay in horrible marriages, sexless marriages. I mean, men put up with a lot. Y'all don't have our standards. You may have some standards, but they ain't a woman's standard, especially a good feminine woman. No, a man's standards will never be as high as a feminine woman's standards. Nope. Because like I said, I'm the gatekeeper. I can't let everybody in. And every man that gets in, to some extent, lowers my value. And there's some feminist women who are not going to want to hear that, but that's the truth. So I know it's some feminist women that y'all feel a way about me saying that, but it's the truth. Every man that gets in lowers your value. So please be mindful of that. Stop letting just any and every man in. That's it. But I kid you not, this statement and this statement over here, most men don't marry the woman they love the most. They marry the woman that is around when they are ready to marry. Again, it's about the man. It's not about the woman. And all this time, I thought it was. I said, you know what? I'm a great woman. I'm amazing. Any man out here should be able to see my value. He should see what I bring to this situation. And the reality is, he can be like, okay, and I'm still not ready. I'm still not ready. I'm not ready to get married. I'm not ready to be in a committed relationship. I'm not ready to be a boyfriend. I'm not ready to be a fiance. Yeah. It's just like the saying, you can be the total package and at the wrong address. So ladies, please listen carefully. The first thing you're doing is you are assessing the man's willingness and ability to commit. There are some men, I'm finding out, that it ain't about money and it ain't about purpose and it ain't about getting your life together. It ain't about any of that crap. Y'all just don't want to commit. You don't want to settle down and be with one woman. You want to feel like you have options. You want to explore your options, or you have FOMO, fear of missing out. And you're going to be 50, 60, 70. And look, you're going to have this phantom fantasy woman. Oh, I hear it all the time, y'all. I just never, 55, 60-year-old man, I just never met a woman that was, the total package. That was everything that I wanted. I never met a woman that I could commit to. I never met a woman I could settle down with. Because in your mind, you want that woman to be some sort of perfect, specimen. That doesn't exist. That doesn't exist. We're all choosing someone and doing the best we can, and choose well, but that person is still a human being. They're not perfect, and you do your best. You get most of your needs met. Isn't that what the 80-20 rule is about? That 20% of what it is you say you want, you might not get. But be okay with the 80. All right, Alta says, I wouldn't want a man who feels strong-armed into a relationship. I want to be his choice wholeheartedly. Agreed. Wow. Whew. You used to be my therapist, and I remember you said, think of yourself as a luxury car. Oh, yes, honey. I am a Rolls Royce all day. I am Tiffany's. Okay? I am Tiffany's. You know the little blue box? All day. And y'all know, when you see the Rolls Royce emblem, you know what it is. When you see the Tiffany's blue box, you know what it is. That's what I am all day long. But like I said, this thing done blown me all out the water. Cause see, I love myself. I believe in myself. I'm confident. I believe that I'm far along my healing journey. I'm a whole woman. I believe that, I'm amazing. And yet and still, I need to accept that men will commit when they are ready for it. That was a huge paradigm shift. That as bad as I am, as amazing as I am, as fly as I am, okay, as wonderful as I am, a man who is not ready will not commit to me. Y'all, that's sobering. Like I said, I'm still processing. I'm still wrapping my head around that. Never let anyone come in and test drive you. That's right. And like I said, y'all know what it is. You don't go in Tiffany's and haggle over the price of stuff. You don't go to Rolls Royce and ask for no test drive. They're going to be like, what you in here? How did you get in here? You know what this is. We don't have anything to prove to you. Either you want it or you don't. Either you came in here to buy or you done lost your way. Be that person. And I believe I am that person. But here's what I'm doing now. I am making my number one priority determining a man's willingness to commit. That is now my number one priority. I'm going to develop some questions. And I'm going to sit and deeply meditate on these questions. I'm going to observe. And I already do that. But now it's like I have to tweak my eye because I'm looking for something totally different. Can I recommend a book for you to read? Oh, gosh, about this subject? Like I said, I'm actually considering updating my own book. I'm actually considering putting a new chapter in the book about this because it is like blown my head off. But I do want you to, okay, I'm going to give you Paula Groom's book. Hold on, I'm going to give you the name of it. Why Won't He Commit? Okay, there we go. All right, Coach Paula Groom's Why Won't He Commit? That's the book I want you to read. How a Man Decides to Make You the One. And I read it, y'all. I read the book 3 times. I read it in preparation for the podcast interview. Episode 163. I interviewed the author. Go to YouTube. and find episode 163. Get a copy of that book. Why won't he commit? There are too many women on this live. I put up with a lot, but I've ended myself and now ready for a relationship. I'm in no rush. Friends first, connection, date, then marry. I'm not thirsty. Is this a gentleman? DN Griff? Oh, yes, it is. DN.Griff, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now, here's what I'm going to say to that. When you say friends first, are you making it clear at some point, I am ready to commit? I just need to make sure I commit to the right person. Because what I find so scary about men's standards being lower than women. And remember this statement that Tony Gaskins made. Most men don't marry the woman they love the most. They marry the woman that is around when they are ready to marry. What is scary about that to me is you may not be marrying the best woman for you. That's what I find scary about that. Is that the divorce rate is at 50%, last I checked. And if you're waking up, fellas, with this epiphany, like, oh yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to be with someone. I'm ready to settle down. I'm ready to commit. I have my life in order. Everything is the way I want it. My purpose. I'm ready to commit. Okay, but if you're just picking a woman that you're dating, or if you're just, the next woman I'm dating, like, is that woman the best fit for you? That's what I guess my head goes to. Is this person the best person? Is this woman the best woman for you to commit to? And if you're just picking someone who just happens to be there when you're ready to commit, like, you may be down the road a part of that divorce statistic. So, yeah, I'm still wrapping my head around this, because in my mind, if you connect with a person, you meet that person and you connect with them, and sure, your life is not perfect, but you're like, you know what? There's something about this person that just says, this is my person. So in my mind, you either get ready, or you say, look, I believe you're my person. I believe we're supposed to be together. And I may need time to do X, Y, and Z. What do you think about that? You communicate. Hey, I'm getting myself together. There's something about this connection. There's something about you and me and how we fit together. It feels right. I may not have everything perfectly together, but what do you think? To me, it's like you communicate. She said this one, guy said he was scared at 58. Yeah, some men do not mature. Be friends for a long time before you start dating. Men aren't so easy to commit because men have more to lose in marriage. We can have that conversation. Not on this live tonight. That's a long conversation. The price is the price, period. That's right, Alta. Divorce male, ready for marriage eventually, but not in a rush. If it's meant to be, God will show her to me. DN.Griff, can I be real? That statement that you just made says non-committal. That's what that says to me. Like, if I was sitting across from you and you said that, yeah, I've been married before, I'm divorced. And if you said, yeah, I'll be ready for marriage eventually, but not in a rush. If it's meant to be, God will show her to me. I will get up and go about my business. Because to me, that's a non-committal statement. Sorry. That's a non-committal statement. I have the list on my desk. Alta said, what are the 7 C's again? I'm going to have to email it to you because I have the list on my desk at work. And I am in my home studio. And I'm going to mess it up. And the list is in order. And remember, I'm actually changing the order. I am making Christ first and then commitment second. So I'm going to email it to you. Okay? Okay? No men in my vision. Don't even meet guys. I'm divorced and put up with a lot that I put myself on the back burner. I'm not thirsty at all. Okay? But you're non-committal. Like, I'm just going to keep it real. Like, if you're sitting across from me, that's what you're telling me. I'm not ready to commit. And that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. But when people start spiritualizing commitment, when they say, I'm not thirsty, I'm not feeling the pressure, or I've been married before, no pressure, let's just be friends. See, all of those things are saying non-committal. They're saying non-committal. I'm sorry, because if you meet the woman that is, She ain't no friend. She fine. She gorgeous. She do it for you. You're not going to sit there and be like, yeah, let's be friends for a while. No, you're not doing that. You like, there's something about this woman that does it for me. And women are the same way. We meet a man and something about that man does it for us. But that kind of come off as non-committal. And like I said, I'm getting my questions ready. She said, damn, that statement though, shaking my head. My goal is to get to know her with the intention of marriage, but if she's not the one from knowing her first, then I will not marry. Again, I'm just being honest because that's all I know how to do is be direct. All of that sounds non-committal to me. And that's how I would take it. And hey, maybe I'd miss out on a really great guy. But like I said, I've had a very long history of choosing men who committed. It's only in the last 10 years that I've been slipping. Like, I've been slipping. And y'all, I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to start journaling about this. Like, I'm actually going to sit down and start journaling and try to figure out what happened. Because prior to 39, 40 years old, most of the men I dated committed. They committed. They were like, yeah, let's do this. You mine, And these, I don't know. I don't know if something has changed. I don't know if I've changed. Men have changed. But these men now, they different. They a new breed of man. They don't, And I mean, like I said, you can be amazing. And clearly, that doesn't matter. You can be the full package and be at the wrong address. So you know what? Like I said, I committed earlier in this live. I'm going to do it again, which is moving forward. I'm going to be me. I'm not doing no backflips or somersaults. No more. I'm going to do me. I'm going to show up as me. I'm going to be the best version of me. But the number one thing that I'm going to do moving forward, I'm going to assess a man's willingness to commit. That's it. And clearly, I was really good at that because I wasn't attracting 2 men in a row that were non-committal. I mean, I dated like 5 or 6 men, married one of them, and they all committed. So something is going on. And it could be a shift in the culture. I don't know. But I'm not going above and beyond. I think I've kind of made up my mind right here on this live. I'm not doing that anymore. What are the 3 things you would tell a woman when it comes to dating? Number 1, what we're talking about on this live, which is assess a man's ability to commit. Assess a man's ability to commit. That's my number 1 thing now. And like I said, y'all, I'm serious. I may stay up all night, write that chapter, and pull my book from Amazon and add that chapter into the book. That's how important I believe that is now. So number 1, assess his ability and willingness to commit. Number 2, I want you to abstain from being sexual or even kissing for as long as you possibly can. Because we need to know his true, genuine intention. And honestly, I want you to really find out how this man feels about you. Not what he thinks about your lips and your hips and your dips and your body and your beauty and your booty. What does he think about your soul and your spirit? So abstain for as long as you can. Be exclusive and committed before you become sexual with a man. Get your tests in order. Ask all the questions you need to ask before being sexual. And take your time. Take your time. Take your time. Be your best self. Show up as your best self. And remember, we're doing it for us, not him. We're doing it for us. He says, hi, Anita, long time. Enjoying your live. Thank you, Abe Jones, 10. Yeah. Whew. But ladies, take your ego out of it. Take your ego out of it. I've said this before. And look, I had some young girls push back on me on Facebook when I talked about the idea of you ain't that special. You ain't that special. You amazing. You amazing. You have value. You have inherent worth, especially in God's eyes. You are an amazing soul. You are a unique soul, but you're not special. Sorry. We need an ego check. And look, the young girls come talking about, why is she trying to humble us? Why she? No, I'm just spitting the truth that you need to hear, so you don't let your ego get you in a situation that's only going to hurt you. You're not special. You're not that special. You're not going to take a man with no ambition and no drive and make him into a 7-figure earner. You're not going to, sex a man into a relationship. You're not going to clearly, get a man to commit that don't want to commit, because last I checked, men don't do what they don't want to do. I have to know you first to know if I want to marry. I disagree. I disagree with that. If you go back far enough in my platform, you're going to see a video. There's a video there by a white gentleman. He's an Hasidic Jew. And he talked about the importance of determining if a man wants to marry. Not marry you, if he wants to marry. He talked about that in the video. He said, you need to determine how a man feels about marriage. You need to know that before you even consider dating him and possibly marrying him. Because again, a man does not decide to marry based on the woman. He decides to marry because he believes in marriage. It's not about, oh, this woman's going to come along and something she's going to say or do is going to make me want to get married. No, I agree that it doesn't work that way. It does not work that way. A man has to be open and willing to marry. Yeah, sorry. How do you explain men who are with a woman for years and leaves her and gets married to another woman in months? Again, wasn't he ready with the first woman according to Tony's statement? No. And listen to the statement again. Men commit when they are ready for it, not when they meet the right woman. He could have been with that woman for 8 years and he wasn't ready to commit. And then at some point he decided, I'm ready to commit. And you know what? I'm with this different woman and I'm going to commit to her. That's it. And yes, you may think to yourself, well, it was the woman. Possibly it was the woman that he didn't want to commit to. But I'm going to be real with you. I think he just didn't want to commit. And if he did, he would have left that woman alone and found someone he wanted to commit to. If she's the one, I'll marry in a matter of months, maybe weeks. Okay. Is it ever too soon to commit, in your opinion? There are a list of questions that you're going to consider before committing. And it's actually in my stories. If you go to my stories, I want you to screenshot that list of questions that says, these are the things you need to know before you commit to someone. Me personally, I would not commit, meaning engagement or marriage. I would be in a relationship. I would be in an exclusive relationship that hopefully is headed somewhere. But I would not commit to engagement or marriage until 12 months went by. So you need to see a person over 12 months. 4 seasons should go by. And enough things should happen in that time frame that is telling you lots of information about that person. And I'm not talking about 12 months long distance. I'm not talking about 12 months in a different state or 12 months seeing each other once a week. No, I'm talking about 12 months. I'm seeing you a lot. I'm talking to you every day. I'm seeing you 2 to 3 times a week. Like, you got to put in work over 12 months. One issue I have when dating is men will ask to come over before getting to know me. I'm firm on that boundary, but I don't know why guys do that. That, my dear, is called none of your business. I could care less, and I want you to care less. I want you to hold to your standard, and if he pushes even the slightest bit, drop him. Leave him alone. Leave men who push your boundaries alone. Because they're telling you who they are and what they're about. I could care less. Perfect example. I had a male friend of mine talk about, I'll date a woman. I'll talk to her over the phone. I'll get her number. And I never delete women's numbers from my phone. I was like, excuse me? Why? He's like, well, at random, I may reach out, I may call, I may text, I may have been dating somebody. Maybe that relationship's over. And then I'll just go on my phone and reach out and call or text. Why? Why are you doing this? But you know what? I started thinking to myself, why do you care, Anita? Like, care less about why men do what they do. And I want you to live in that land too. Care less. It does not matter. It really doesn't. You put on this earth to hold your boundary. I got married in 2 months and all hell broke loose, as so it should. Was married for 8 years and I learned from it. I hope you did. Because you should have known that woman for 12 months minimum. And you should have been doing your homework. So yeah, that was a lesson that you clearly needed. So don't do that no more. At the end of the essay, okay, why don't you get back with your ex if she's available? Oh, Lord. At the end of the day, I have to protect myself because no one will do it for me. Precisely. And remember, until you're married to a good masculine man, it's your job to protect yourself. So please do it well. Okay, she said, oops, I just read what you wrote. Oh, Lord. Assess a man's willingness to commit. Number one, like I said, I am going to pull my book from Amazon and I am going to sit down and write that chapter and I'm going to add it as a bonus chapter. But that means I have to go back to the person who formatted my book. That means I have to change the cover of my book to say new and updated or new and expanded edition. I have to go and do all of that because that's how serious this is, y'all. This thing is serious. You must assess a man's ability and willingness to commit. I cannot say that enough. There will always be someone prettier, nicer than you. And that's why, like I said, just stop. Just stop. I've long stopped. I do not compete against anyone. The only person's opinion that matters is God and my own. And as long as he is pleased and I am pleased, remember, all the things I do in relationship to me, my healing, my growth, my physical health, my mental health, my emotional health is for me. It's for me. A man gets to experience that who's with me, but I'm not doing it for him. It's for me. And so, yes, do not compete with other women. Please don't. How long does it take for libido to come back for women after childbirth? I've been struggling for 13 months after having a baby. Or you mean your woman had a baby? It's going to depend from woman to woman. And the reality is she has to be willing to do something about it. There are plenty of things that she can do about it, but she has to be willing to do something about it. And I talk to women about this all the time. Like, do something about it. Because if you all are in a monogamous relationship, she's the only person you can have sex with. And if she loves you, I would think that would matter to her. So it's going to vary from woman to woman. Tony Gaskins, marrying the one who is there when they're ready to marry versus the one they connect with totally can see the truth in it and it's sad. Yeah, I just read that post. Y'all, it's sobering. It is sobering. Whew. Why do women say they don't want D pics but constantly are looking down there when wearing gym shorts or gray sweats? I have no idea. I don't look down there. You got me on that one. You got me on that one because I'm not looking down there. And no, we don't want D pics. We really don't. I don't want a man's random D pic. No, thank you. That seems to happen frequently with someone for years and then someone else within months. Okay, she says, I don't know if he answered this, but if a man last relationship with 3 months ago, is that a red flag? It depends on how long that relationship was. You need to ask, how long were you in that relationship? If it was at least a year, you're probably a rebound. So just be mindful of that. If it was a year or longer, you are probably a rebound. So just be mindful of that. He said, yes, you are a keeper for life and a Rolls Royce to life. You are beautiful. Love your strength. Thank you so much. I've been celibate for 7 months whole dating. All right. Yes. Thank you, 402 Marine, for buying the first badge. I appreciate you. Yes. Thank you so much. Y'all can buy a badge. I know I'm real bad about reminding y'all. I'm real bad. But see, I be trying to do, like giving y'all the benefit of the doubt. But you can buy a badge. Okay? You can buy a badge. Okay? When a man comes back, it's not because they love you. It's to see if they still have access to you. And it is up to you to prove them wrong or right. Yeah, you have to determine why that man is coming back. Hey, 623 machine. Yeah, y'all can buy a badge tonight. Yeah, it really is up to you to figure that out. And here's a way you can figure it out. You can just go slow. You can just go at a snail's pace. And y'all, if he get mad, if he get angry, if he want to pick up where he left off, that's the answer. That's not a hard one. You gotta love neck bought a badge. Thank you. I'm sure I just tore that all up. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Thank you for buying a badge. You all can buy a badge. Okay. But yeah, that one's real easy. That one's real easy to figure out. But y'all, I want you to go back on my platform. I want you to look at my last post. Give me your thoughts and your feelings about it, especially the men. Give me your thoughts and feelings about it. Men commit when they are ready for it, not when they meet the right person. That is sobering. That is a sobering statement. And it has just changed the game. It's changed the game for me. Like now, I'm going to interact with men totally different. Totally different. I'm going to, not that I'm not myself, but I'm going to be even more myself. And I'm not bending over backwards. I'm not doing somersaults. I'm not doing backflips. I'm going to show up as me. You love it or you don't. I'm not going to think I can cook my way into commitment or screw my way into commitment or, be his therapist. And no, I'm not doing any of that. No, because at the end of the day, you are going to decide when you're ready to commit. And I am going to assess that. And then I'm going to date you or not, depending on what I found out. That's it. That's all you got, ladies. Find out if he's ready to commit. And if he's not, just go about your business. Because that's how we're wired. Y'all know that. Y'all love to get into these situationships and friends with benefits, knowing good and well that don't work. That's not what y'all want. Go about your business. If that man is not interested in something real, go about your business. Why do some black men say dating other races is easier because black women do the most? No, it's not. It's not. And to me, those are very low vibrational men. Like, stop messing with them men. Those are very low vibrational men. And same with these passport bros. Leave these men alone. Please. Leave these passport bros and these men that say, oh, I don't date black women. Okay, bye. See, that shouldn't even, again, that's one of those things we should care less about. I could care less about men who say that. I don't care. Yes, ma'am. Show up as you. I got the same thoughts on that. That's it. That's it. Be your best self. Compete with yourself. And that's it. But please don't think anything else that you do is going to make a man want to commit to you. It's not. Truly a revelation. This is a game changer. Huge weight lifted from the pressure to make a man commit. I could just be Alta, no pressure. Just show up as my beautiful self. That's it. That's what I want you to do. But it is your job to vet. It is your job to determine his ability to commit. And whatever you see, whatever he says, I want you to take it to heart. Because y'all going to hear some stories moving forward. You're going to hear some stories moving forward. I'm going to come on here and I'm going to tell y'all some stories. I'm going to be like, yeah, I went out 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. And it was like, yeah, I don't think you're ready for the level of commitment that I'm ready for. That's my new let you down easy. So my last let you down easy was, unfortunately, I don't think you're emotionally available. My new let you down easy is, you're not looking for the level of commitment that I am. Yeah, that's my new let you down easy. But I'm going to assess quick. I'm going to assess quick, fast, and in a hurry. What is your level of commitment? What's your ability to commit? Friends with benefits is a disappointment. And how about this, y'all? This is what is a trip. Friends with benefits isn't even sexually satisfying. Let's go there. Can we go there? That if you are calling me up every now and again to have sex, like I'm not even sexually satisfied by you. Like, this is a drag. This is not satisfying. So, yeah, I can't even do it for that reason alone. Especially when you deserve better. Yeah, the passport bros, we don't want them anyways. Yeah, please. Y'all stop entertaining some of these men. Stop entertaining these men. And it's the same with men that, talk all crazy about red pill crap. And these are men that don't love women. Remember, women love men who love women. Okay? Stop messing with these men who don't love women like that. They're not emotionally attracted to women. No. All right, y'all. I got to go. It is 9 minutes away from my bedtime, and I have not even journaled. I still got to journal. I still got to, take all this off and journal, put my serum on and all that good stuff. So I got to go. But I have so appreciated this conversation. This live is going to be saved for everyone to see. Because y'all know I be saving my lives to subscribers only. But I'm going to save this live because everybody need to see this live. Okay? Everybody need to sit and see this live. This is a wake-up call. Like, it woke me up. It hurt my soul, so it pierced my ego, and it hurt my little soul, and then now I'm processing it, and I'm like, okay, it's all right. It's okay. Moving forward. We're not going to worry about the past. We're just going to move forward. Okay? Ladies, assess a man's ability and willingness to commit. That will be one of the first things you do. You will not bond to this man. You will not get attached to this man until you can determine that he is ready and willing to commit. Okay? That is the takeaway from tonight's lesson. Have a wonderful night. To everyone who purchased a badge, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining me here. As always, stay open to love.